So why should people go into law then? When people think of law, it's as a career, it sounds great, loads of money.
Well, not about the loads of money bit, but yeah. Well, it's a good question actually, why one would go into law. But I can answer that in a very personal way, because I wrote an essay, which actually is interesting in itself, that I write essays and write things. I've always written things. When I was, I think, 13. And it says something like, what am I going to do when I grow up, as it were. And it does say in there that I wanted to be a solicitor. And I'd kind of forgotten about this because I did a history degree, as I just said. So pursued that course. And law was obviously in the back of my mind. But in this essay, it gave 3 reasons why I wanted to be a solicitor. And I've still got this essay somewhere in the loft at home. And the 3 reasons were somewhat contradictory, actually, as often is with young people. But the first one was to help people, actually, funnily enough. I mean, that's not necessarily the... it sounds a bit altruistic, but it was to assist people in some way in terms of their problems. That was my motivation. The second one was that I preferred art subjects to science subjects. I mean, I was good at school, I was quite lucky, but I did prefer arts. I didn't particularly like maths and physics and that kind of thing. And the third one was to do with money, because it did say, I'd hope to make a reasonable income, although it went on to say that I would then be able to hopefully give money to charity and all that sort of thing. Now, there was a bit of a contradiction there, because helping people and making money don't always go hand in hand. You've got to be commercial to be in law. You can't really get by. Say, for instance, legal aid is, as you know, is a bad way. I mean, but having said that, I've dealt with that by way of pursuing a legal aid route as far as I can. So I've not done it exclusively, but I have kept that going, and our firm has kept it going.
And has it made you loads of money?
Not legal aid, no.
No,
and has the career made us money? I would say that a career in law, if you work hard at it and are reasonably successful, you'll have a comfortable living. I mean, comparatively to other. Well, not all other professions. I mean, I'm amazed at how much accountants earn. Very wealthy. I mean, it's quite amazing, actually. Some of them, not all of them, obviously. And there's other careers. But I think also it's important to realise that the legal world has shifted. Not only has you've got all this competition, potentially, of supermarkets and what have you, which creates further difficulties, but also there's a lot of people working as paralegals now. It's a funny term, really, and not sure if it's a very attractive term, but it does mean that people are sometimes with law degrees are working in the legal profession, sometimes at quite important levels, especially in London. You're getting people who are working on legal cases and doing research and doing all kinds of legal functions, but not solicitors. I mean, you might even know some, because there aren't necessarily the same jobs. And also IT has changed so much. If you're good, as most young people are, with computers, and you can follow programs well, and legal programs and other programs, then there may be a route in there without having to be a pure solicitor. It's quite important, I think, people to realise that. There's lots of different options.
Lots of
And also there's the court service, by the way. I haven't mentioned that. You could work as a court clerk.
Or both for CPS or
CPS,
like
CPS is a good career. I'm sure CPS, is a route that many people would aspire to.
What's the CPS?
The Criminal Prosecution Service basically assess the police provide evidence of a certain said crime, and they assess that evidence to see if the person's, if they're actually, why am I trying to explain?
That's what
I've got a lawyer in the room.
Well, basically they decide on whether charging is right, so that therefore the case is safely should be brought to court, and then they pursue the case through from that point after charging. So they would deal with all the bail issues, and at least bail at the court. The police deal with bail at the police station, and obviously up to trials, sometimes using barristers as well.